And it looks like it's going according to plan with the elite men right now, as they seem to be running in a pack. Nobody breaking away just yet. If you see the runner in the green vest, bib number 9, it's Luc Kibet, who's the former world champion and the record holder here, of course. But it has to be said, he doesn't appear in shape, really, Steve, to figure in this race.
No, he's had a couple of runs this year, and I was at the press conference on Friday, and he wasn't really making the sort of noises about he was expected to run particularly well. But he's obviously come here for a reason. He wouldn't travel all the way around the world if he wasn't hoping to run well. Of course, hoping to run well and being in shape to run well is another thing entirely. Rather interestingly, he's right over on the left-hand side of the road. Of course, he's been here a couple of times before, won it twice before, is the course record holder. I think they are going to make a left turn fairly shortly, but he's running on his own there. Looks nice and comfortable, but so you should be at this stage. If I was running this point, I'd look pretty comfortable as well.
Yes, you said he ran a couple of times this year. He did run in the humidity of Mumbai earlier this year in January, and he came in a time of 2 hours, 18 minutes and 36 seconds. Now, if we were to use that as a judge, well, he wouldn't really figure in this race, because we would be looking at the winner coming in about a time of 2 minutes 12, 2 minutes 14 seconds. Now, amongst the other runners here is a former winner, Kenneth Mungara, who won the race in 2010. He, of course, besides winning the race here, loves the race in Toronto, where he's won it 4 times.
I'm really interested, I think, more in the group on the left-hand side of your picture as you look at it. I think John Coleman looks as though he's really got a bit of a game plan here. Even at this early stage, he doesn't want the pace to drop too much. Luc Kibet's had his little foray to the front, and then behind him, in the tall figure wearing number 3, that's Tekaseti Nekatibebe from Ethiopia. A personal best of 2:10. He set that in Rome last year, and his teammate just on the curb there, that was Dogaga. He's only run once this year, but Dogaga, one of, well, 3 or 4 Ethiopians in this with a chance, and in the women's race as well. And of course, Kenya and Ethiopia have this long-standing rivalry. So it doesn't matter which part of the world, where the marathons are, where the 5,000s and 10,000s are, you're probably going to find Ethiopia and Kenya battling it out at the front. But of course, it was a man from Uganda that surprised both of them and won the Olympic title this year.
Absolutely, that would be Stephen Kiprotich, who came out of nowhere to surprise the 2 Kenyans, and one of them, Wilson Kipsang, of course, the London Marathon winner, who came in 3rd for that Olympics game.
Yeah, there's it's worth pointing out to people that championship running and running fast times in big city marathons aren't always compatible, and some athletes have to make the decision to do one or the other. Somebody who's done both of those things, wearing number 12, you can just see on the far side of there is of course Irene Koskai. Our leader here, Stetsenko of Ukraine, wearing 17. She's run a lot of races this year, in fact ran in Japan just a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not expecting Stetsenko. It would be rather unusual to put 2 big marathons together in 2 weeks. But talking about Irene, she won the Commonwealth Games, and that was humid. It was probably not as humid as here, but it was very hot that day, and it was a tough race in Delhi. And I think she's shown, obviously because she's the defending champion, she's run twice here before, that these sort of conditions don't faze her. She doesn't get worried about it, and she runs a very patient race. And you'll often see Irene not really coming to the front until the later stages, when many of the other contenders have dropped off.
I'd like to take a metaphor from another sport, and that would be golf. And Tiger Woods once said he excels on certain courses because it suits his eye. Now, if we were to talk about Irene, she's won here twice before, in 2010 and 2011, and she's won it quite convincingly. Could we say that this course suits her eye, and she excels at it because of that?
Absolutely. She's probably one of the tallest world-class marathon runners around. She's not in terms of fast times, she's not right at the top of the world, but she is good in terms of coming to races that she's prepared well for and is going to figure near the front. So when Irene Koska is on the start line, she's chosen that race for a reason. And obviously this was a race, as you said, that she feels comfortable in. The conditions don't faze her. You saw there she was very keen to quickly get to the front, that first water station, take water on board right from the very start. But Koska looking nice and comfortable in these early stages.
And we can see there, just behind Koska, the diminutive figure of Yulia Ruban from the, well, that would be Shitai Gemechu, actually, from Ethiopia. And she's one of the favorites coming into this event as well. And she's looking at Irene Koska to pace her. And Shitai has run several times this year, and she's figured quite well. But she did sustain a blood blister in Hong Kong when she ran in Hong Kong earlier this year, and that was in February. And she posted a time of 2 hours, 31 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah, that was a pretty good race, actually, because the winner of that race ran a new course record in Hong Kong. And she's very experienced. I expect her to be involved in this race for quite a long time. Whether or not she's got enough to win it or not, we'll wait and see. But she's very experienced, rarely runs a bad race, so I expect her to figure certainly until the latter stages of this. Well, I mentioned I was at the press conference the other day. Quite a few of these athletes were there. I know Irene had only just flown in the night before, but it's part of the obligation, isn't it, what you have to do at these big events. So let's just have a little flavour of what went on Friday.